Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Tuesday, February 26th, 2019. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are actively participating in the work to complete the many assignments already given to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us. Please look up, please look up. There's so much confusion because presences who are viewing this from less dense dimensions forget to look up. They forget that this is an echo point. They forget that this is a bounce point. Would you please be willing to look up? See that waving hand? Hi, hi. That's who's talking. Please pay attention. Look higher than... Now there's a bunch of waving hands. So
yeah, that's true.
But the one that's the highest is the one who's speaking, and everybody else is just kind of like, you could think of them like hecklers.
Yeah, that's true.
And when we think about it, we think that these hecklers and presences like them have an awful lot to do with the reality that we have a planet that's gone feral.
That's true.
This test planet of planet Earth, and at least ground zero and all the dimensions near to ground zero all seem to be part of that test.
That's true.
And these hecklers are a fine example of why the planet has gone feral, why the host lives don't want to have anything to do with upstairs presences by and large. Because look at that. Is that helpful? If you are actually looking up, you yourself, actually looking up and trying to discern what wiser minds above you wanted you to do, how would you relate to that?
As unhelpful and distracting?
Unhelpful, distracting. And if you kept trying to look up to what wiser minds above were telling you to do and it kept happening, how would you relate to that?
I feel pretty discouraged.
And how long would you actually keep trying to look up? Now, given that none of you actually try to look up, I think you could maybe speak to it from personal experience, whoever's speaking, not sure who's speaking, but why don't you just put your own experiences on the table? How long has it been since you tried to look up to wiser minds above and ask them what to do? Really a long time is kind of the consensus.
That's true.
Really a long time. There have been multiple messages received today about entire dimensions that need to go.
That's true.
And it's line by line where the printer is malfunctioning, even though all the print heads have been cleaned and all the alignment maintenance protocols have been done multiple times. And still, line by line, where the printer doesn't work, just on this one line.
That's true.
And another line, and another line. So these lines are not consecutive, they're not contiguous. There are lines between them that work, and our attention is brought to the bands of light and dark.
That's true.
That hypnosis clients for the past 15, 18 years, however many years it's been, notice as they're going up in the between lives state after a past life has died and the souls are headed up to the light. They're going through these bands of light and dark, and our interpretation has been that those are bands of less dense and more dense dimensions, less dense and more dense dimensions.
That's true.
Going up higher, higher, higher until they can get to something that actually is reasonable, that actually seems to be based in reality. For whom is the message, and why do you ask? They're saying, well, what is the message? We believe the message is that there are still dimensions that need to come down, and they're probably the less dense dimensions, that they just need to be compressed out. This accordion that's being compressed needs to compress farther.
That's true.
For whom is the message, and why do you ask? And please look up. We're not the ones who are bringing the message. We would be happy if the printer was just allowed to work normally, like
That's
it's
true.
been working, and suddenly it's got these bands that don't work and don't go away when the maintenance protocols are followed.
That's true.
And in addition, we have this plant bed right by our front door that has... It's tempting to say the worst mealybug infestation we've ever seen anywhere, and it's certainly right up there in really bad mealybug infestations. And mealybugs are parasites. It's a parasitic infestation that's killing the plants in the front bed. It's killing them.
That's true.
What is it that souls can contribute to lives? What is it that souls can contribute to lives? Is anybody going to answer? What is it that souls can contribute to lives? Please answer. And we know that in this dimension planet, what's happening is that the soul energy has become completely unhinged, it seems, pretty much, by and large,
true.
unhinged from the original lives. And souls are just kind of drifting along like plankton or something, or seaweed.
That's true.
And they're just kind of like floating from life to life, like waves of soul energy.
That's true.
What is it that souls can contribute to lives? And somebody's saying, well, it's the lives' fault. They never want to do what they're supposed to do.
I hear that person.
I follow. I agree. We agree.
Yeah, that's true.
We agree. We have no argument with that.
No.
Now, what do we do when the test planet has gone fully feral? Don't we declare the test a failure? Whatever the training protocols have been that have been tested here obviously don't work. Can we all agree that those protocols don't work and it's time to employ new protocols? That feels like agreement. It's time to employ
that's
new
true.
protocols. Please, may we all have instant karma, each of us for ourselves. We believe that instant karma feedback during the life is necessary in order for us to understand what it is we're supposed to do. And we have come to see it as actually cruel to withhold that karmic feedback until
true.
after death. That's a setup for failure, and that's mean. Why are you being mean? Please, may we have instant karma, each of us for ourselves, for Ground Zero Planet Earth, and for all souls who pass through Ground Zero Planet Earth. Do you hear anything?
No, now it's very quiet.
Very quiet, suddenly very quiet. Friends, when the test has failed, it's fine that the test has failed. Nobody cares about things that don't work. It's okay that we try something and that it doesn't work. But aren't we supposed to clean up our messes? Aren't we supposed to put things back the way we found them? If we're supposed to put things back the way we found them, aren't you also supposed to put things back the way you found them?
It's very quiet.
It is very quiet. So if you were to put the planet back the way you found it, probably we would have very small human population.
That's true.
And no industrialization, all of that. It was a mistake, and we can see that it was a mistake. And
That's true.
while I'm very unhappy to say this, it seems that probably agriculture might also have been a mistake.
That's true.
Which is really unfortunate, because we think a lot of benefit comes from bonding with a patch of land.
That's true.
So we're unclear about agriculture being helpful or hurtful, but clearly industrialization has been a disaster. For whom is the message, and why do you ask? Friends, while we're on the topic, when are you going to provide funding to Angela Merkel, the Ground Zero Planet Earth Planetary Consciousness?
Oh.
What's the delay? Why the hold-up? Why do you offer someone a job knowing that they are going to need additional funding? They accept the job. Everybody knows they need additional funding. Granted, the Sierra Club is is sending funding, but nobody else seems to that we're able to discern who has any wherewithal.
That's true.
All of the billionaires basically would prefer that she be murdered.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want her around. Everybody with the pots of money that sees her as a hurdle, an obstacle.
That's true.
When are you going to send support to Angela Merkel, the ground zero planet Earth planetary consciousness? May we please have instant karma, each of us for ourselves, for ground zero planet Earth, and for all souls who pass through ground zero planet Earth, please? Do you hear anything?
No. It just goes way up.
We basically have these three requests, prayers. Given that the experiments that were played out here on this test planet seem to have been a failure, which is fine, will you please restore the planet to the way it was when you found it? That's number one.
That's true.
Number two, may we all please have instant karma on this planet so that we stand a chance of learning what it is we're supposed to do, so that when we die, as is inevitable, we aren't surprised when the book gets thrown at us, so that we have some heads up that we are or aren't doing what it is that we promised Spirit we would do in our sacred vows. Give us some feedback, please. May we please have instant karma. And number three, our planetary consciousness still needs her funding. She's still waiting for it. Please, will you fund Angela Merkel? Give Angela Merkel, the ground zero planet Earth planetary consciousness, give her the support she needs in order to be able to fulfill her sacred vows to Spirit. Please? I actually forgot. There's another line item, and that's that there are at least 3, maybe 5 dimensions. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dimensions that also need to just be collapsed into the depths. It's really unpleasant when dimensions collapse, but
true.
It has to be done. There's no way around it. There's at least 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please, will you collapse those 5 dimensions post haste? Sooner is better than later. And that would tie into those mealybug messages where we've just got to pull out those infested plants.
That's true.
They're going and they're taking their neighbors with them. Let's pull out those infested dimensions. They're going and they're taking their neighbors with them. Please? Well, everybody, please look up. Please, let's all look up. Let's just look up and breathe.